This is the Art Marketing Minute with Eric Rhoads, author of the Amazon best-selling book, Make More Money Selling Your Art. In the Marketing Minute, we answer your questions to help your art career. Brought to you by artmarketing.com, the place to go to learn more about marketing. Now, here's your host, Art Magazine publisher, Eric Rhoads.
Thank you, Jim Kipping, and thank you for joining us today. I am here. My goal is to eliminate the idea of the starving artist. So let's get right to today's questions. Here's a question from Ron in St. Louis, Missouri, who says, what am I getting from gallery owners is that they are dealing with known artists, and someone like myself who's not gallery promoted or known would never get seen. What should I do? Well, Ron, first off, I think the interview that we just listened to probably answers that. I hope you heard the one with Jane Bell Meyer that we just did on the Plein Air podcast. The reality is that what galleries want is someone who will sell. Everything about, you want everybody to sell. You want, and what sells is what is known. So if you can prove to them that you will sell, that's going to give them the confidence to go after you, to try someone new. But it doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes they'll watch you for 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years. You just never know. And it starts by taking control of your career. You have to build your marketing yourself. You have to build your brand yourself. You have to make yourself visible by entering and winning art competitions like Plein Air Salon, getting into shows, and even starting with smaller shows to build up a reputation, build up a body of work and market yourself. And yes, it's kind of the old, once I don't need them anymore, I don't need them, but you'll still benefit from having them. So I hope that helps you. Next question comes from James in Denmark, who says, you've mentioned marketing in your magazines a couple of times, and you do so consistently, which makes good sense. As you say, go where the money is. I like to say, stand in the river where the money is flowing, baby. My gut feel is that the billionaires amongst your readership are reading Fine Art Connoisseur rather than Plein Air Magazine. Can you enlighten us about which is better for artists to reach collectors? Well, I cannot enlighten you completely because, James, it kind of depends on your strategy. But first off, let me answer that question directly and then indirectly. Fine Art Connoisseur is a high-end collector magazine. Yes, I built it out by targeting wealthy, billionaire level, multi-millionaire, upper 1% people. I've got lots of them. I've got over 300 billionaire readers. I've got a lot of really, really wealthy people who have second, third, fourth homes. Some of them have jets and helicopters. A lot of people who consider themselves buyers or collectors in the type of art that we tend to be, which is representational. And they are affluent, and they tend to like expensive paintings. But, sometimes they buy paintings that aren't expensive. But, on the other hand, Plein Air Magazine is subscribed to by two different groups, people who follow and attend and buy from Plein Air events, and there are many, and artists who actually, hang on. Trevor, I'm going to do that segment over again because of the boat noise. So hang with me. But Plein Air Magazine, on the other hand, is subscribed to by two different groups, people who follow and attend and buy from Plein Air events. And there are many, many, many people who go around and they follow the artist around and they go to the Plein Air events and so on. Artists are actually substantial buyers of art these days. And we're discovering that there's now a blended category of Plein Air collectors who have become artists. This was discovered originally by Plein Air East, and people who had attended year after year after year buying paintings got interested in painting and became painters, yet they're still buying paintings. And there are a lot of affluent people who use Plein Air painting as a hobby, as a pastime. It's big in the baby boomer category. It's really big in a lot of categories, and a lot of professionals, a lot of doctors, a lot of professionals who have plenty of money are also artists. So the myth about starving artists isn't necessarily true. Now, there are starving artists out there. There's no question. There are some that make their living entirely from art, but there are plenty who have money in the bank, money from jobs, money who are employed, and they're spending money. So we're finding that Plein Air Magazine actually fulfills kind of both of those groups. So it's a different kind of collector. It's more the people who like landscapes and who like plein air landscapes and people who really love to follow the artist around and go to the events and so on. So it kind of depends entirely on your strategy. All right. So you got to think about the strategy. There's not a which is better. It kind of boils down to what you're selling, who's your ideal customer, who's your target market. These people might be perfect for you or not in these magazines, or maybe there's something else you should do. But first, you have to do your homework about what you really need to reach, who you need to reach, who buys your art now, what they all have in common. Do your homework. And if you go to YouTube and search Streamline Art Video, I've done tons and tons of marketing talks on my daily nude broadcasts, and a lot of marketing content is there, and you can listen to those and find out a lot about that. But also there's a lot of blog material at artmarketing.com. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful for you, all right? Well, this has been the Art Marketing Minute with me, Eric Rhoads. My goal in life is to eliminate the idea of the starving artist and to help your dreams actually come true. So if you want to submit questions, simply email eric@artmarketing.com. And to learn more about marketing ideas, you can visit artmarketing.com. Thanks for listening.